The next half hour.
Is that when people now talk to me of Scarborough, my mind turns less naturally to the North Riding than to Tobago.
And found the black men physically attractive. I must now retreat to my chambers and watch an all-new episode of Kung Fu Hot Dog. A very sprightly Indian gentleman whose hair I want to ruffle.
Oh, what's this? DC's Red Hood series cancelled after writer Gretchen Felker Martin, I wonder who that could be, mocked Charlie Kirk shooting, claimed police weren't people. Now, who is this Gretchen Felker Martin? I've never seen this person in my life before. Shall we go on the internet, kids, and find out? Something tells me I might live to regret this.
The following program contains naughty bits.
This is Duke Nukem. If you're looking for a douchebag to save the day, then try Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog. Alright, now where are the babes?
Now, for those of you who don't know who Gretchen Felker Martin is, I had no idea either, so don't look at me like I'm the font of knowledge, is the writer that DC Comics hired to pen, I think it was 8 issues of a mature 17 plus Red Hood comic book series, and now that's not going forward anymore. They released the first issue yesterday, and I do wonder now if the prices are going to be inflated on eBay because of this rather terrible mishap.
Are you
Absolutely.
Are you in Worcester?
I'm actually in Michigan visiting my girlfriend.
Oh shit.
No, I would say that Gretchen, on your left, for the people who are still confused by these two layabouts right here, is a disgusting, disgraceful, subhuman, subspecies amoeba of a person, if you can even call them that. How can anybody tell me that's a chick? Are you kidding me? That's clearly a dude pretending to cosplay as a girl, speaking with a very deep male voice while trying to affectate a feminine voice. But of course, this is DC Comics, folks, who are falling off a cliff a long time ago. They hired this cretin right here to pen a run of a mature Red Hood, Jason Todd line of comics. Why would you hire somebody like this? I'm going to come back to this point in a minute, but why would you do that, DC Comics? Because you've fallen so far off a cliff now that there is no coming back for you, and it serves you right. Yeah, Jim Lee might still be the president of DC Comics. I believe he holds that position, or maybe slightly lower now. Still does great artwork, but even he cannot save DC Comics at the moment. I mean, James Gunn is already burying DC films into the ground, isn't he? But let's get back to this, folks. Remarks that sparked the outrage. On September the 10th, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while speaking at Utah Valley University. The incident immediately drew attention across the political spectrum because, of course, folks, it is a political crime, however you want to look at it. While many expressed concern for Kirk's safety, Felker Martin reacted with derision on the social media platform known as Blue Sky. Not Blue Hotel by Chris Isaak, which is a very fantastic song, by the way. No, this is Blue Sky. So Felker Martin said here, thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch. So again, when the left talk about fascism, why are you the ones painting yourselves as the Yazis? Why are you doing that? Which is hilarious to me, by the way. And there's another bit here that which I thought was just disgusting beyond belief. I hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie's neck. Remember when Call of Duty brought out trans bullets for Pride? I think it was this year or last year. Well, I'm just saying, you can bring back those bullets. So there's another post here by Felker Martin that says, kept seeing people to read Red Hood #1 for, and I know what that word is, deletion, shall we say. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why until I remembered it opens with a bunch of cops deleting themselves. I just don't really consider them people. So instead of writing a fictional comic book story, Felker Martin, you want to bring in real world events but masquerade them as an ignorant messaging about what you feel about American law enforcement. They're not people. So if somebody burgles your house, and I don't think they would want to do that because if they step foot in it, God knows what fluids they'll find on the floor, right? Would you then be calling 911 for the cops, or are they just people? I don't know. Put an answer. Send me a message on X, Felker Martin. We'll see. I mean, this degenerate right here, this poor, sorry excuse for a human being. Do you think he would ever debate me on YouTube? Of course not, because look at him already. He is a walking, talking excuse for diabetes 101. Who is Gretchen Felker Martin? Well, that's a good question, Marvin Montanaro. Who is he? Earlier this year, DC tapped, I don't know, be very careful about that choice of words, to reimagine Jason Todd, the former Robin turned anti-hero known as Red Hood. The series paired with writer, artist Jess Spokes and cover artist Torin Clark, promising a darker, more brutal take on the Gotham's vigilante scene, right? And again, I say to you folks, if you were Stan Lee back in the day and this thing walked into your office, would you hire them for a position? I would say, listen, thanks. It was great seeing you, but you know what? Just go back home, please. Yeah, just go back to the cesspit you came from. Instead, the series' very first issue has become infamous for its association with one of the swiftest cancellations in DC Comics history. Backlash was immediate. Critics condemned Felker Martin for mocking a shooting victim and dehumanizing law enforcement officers. Supporters of Charlie Kirk pointed to the remarks as evidence of hostility toward conservatives within part of the entertainment industry, because we know the entertainment industry, folks, is overrun with left-leaning lunatics who all need to be removed and sent to Shark Island. Meanwhile, some defenders, and it's only some by the way, argue that cancelling a comic book off-the-clock remarks raises concerns about free speech and artistic independence. Don't forget, guys and girls, I live in the UK where free speech is actually non-existent right now until they get rid of this fucking stupid government. DC, however, appears unwilling to let its brand to be attached to posts seen as celebrating violence. And that's Jason Todd, and that's how he's going to be. But again, you hire some absolute fucking retard to write this, somebody who cosplays as a chick. And it's kind of funny because look at the particular image they're using of Jason Todd with the gun, right? And we know about recent events in America, and I'll be curious to see what the storyline would have been for Jason Todd. I wonder if he would have carried pronouns, because I'm gathering that he probably would have. Well, Hollywood, if you want to make yet another remake of The Blob, this time from 1988, which will make it the third entry in a row, you could always hire Felker Martin for your troubles, and think of all the expenses you would save on makeup and special effects, because you wouldn't really need to use any. Now, in a statement reported by Industry Trades, DC said the following: while we respect the creative viewpoint of our talent, which again is a bit suspect. Why would you even say that, DC? That makes no sense. So anybody can have a very toxic viewpoint, but apparently you stand by them? Are you kidding? Posts or public comments that can be viewed as promoting hostility or violence are inconsistent with DC standards of conduct. The cancellation comes less than 24 hours after fans first noticed Felker Martin's remarks about Kirk circulating on social media. And apparently all the comic outlets who couldn't sell the comics or didn't receive them will be fully credited by DC Comics. Again, that's a nice move, but it doesn't take away the fact that someone's dead. This fucking idiot goes online and says what he said, and apparently all's meant to be well in the world again. I mean, at least DC issued a statement. What about Sucker Punch and their ridiculous, retarded Drew Harrison person? Now, you know I talked about before, folks, about why DC and Marvel hire the worst people possible to write and create a beloved character. Now, case in point, if I say to you Bob Layton, some of you know who he is and others will have no idea, but here's the great man himself. He's an absolute boss and an absolute legend. This guy drew Iron Man, and you can see one of the illustrations right here. I want to bring that up. Look at that. Oh, hang on a second. Let me see if I can actually magnify that a bit better for you. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that just a badass Iron Man back from the day? I can't enlarge that any further, but you get the drift. Look at that. I mean, his Invincible Iron Man run was fantastic. I love Bob Layton. He's an absolute boss. I mean, look at him. This guy works out still. That's a great picture of the man right there. You know what? Let me just move my butt ugly face somewhere else so you can get a better look at the guy. Let me see. Okay, let's stick it right here. But you get the drift, right? That's Bob right there. I love him. He's a very nice guy on Twitter as well, because I've actually had a couple of exchanges with him every now and then, and he's just a very cool dude. Demon in a bottle. Holy shit. Yes, I remember that story. Yeah, Tony Stark goes full alcoholic crazy mode, man. But Bob Layton is just a fantastic dude. What? I tell you what, it's not hard, is it? DC and Marvel. Just hire normal people. People who don't carry pronouns. People who don't have an agenda. They keep their mouths shut. They just turn up to work, do what they're told to do, get paid. You generate a $1 million+ selling title, and you begin work on the next one. How difficult is that to comprehend? Apparently it really is. And again, I don't know if you look around on ChatGPT, but he asked it the question, how many people run the world? Apparently it's about 50 people that you don't know about. There must have been exceptional human beings, but again, I'm not sure if that's the case, because if there are, why are they pushing for weird ideologies and actually causing derision between both sides of the fence? But anyway, folks, if you ended up enjoying this video today, make sure you give it a like, smash that subscribe button, and I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
We're going to talk movies, we're going to talk books, we're going to talk not politics, if that's okay with you. Are you
Absolutely.
Ha ha ha!